A four-game sweep of the Chicago White Sox. The Royals won 15 of their last 17. They are red hot, and the Red Sox are coming into town this weekend. They hope to keep it rolling. We'll talk about it all right now in one Royal way. We are back at it here on Kansas City Sports Network. I'm Joel Penfield. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. We are live on YouTube right now. If you're on the audio side, Sunday night, Thursday night, come and hang out with us around 8:30 Central, and we'll do the show live just like Josh Jordan and I did last season throughout the year. Appreciate everybody. A little bit of a delay tonight. We're going at about 8:50 instead of 8:30. My son had a T-ball game tonight that went a little long. So getting him back and getting that all situated caused a little bit of a delay. But thanks for being patient with me. Thanks for bearing with me. And if you are still here on YouTube, I appreciate it. Leave some comments in the chat. Interact. I'll answer some questions throughout if as they kind of go along with the topics here. Make sure you're subscribed on all platforms. Make sure you are liking the video if you are here on YouTube. That helps grow the channel and get more people to see it. Make sure you're subscribed on the audio side as well. Hit those notification bells anywhere you consume this show so you know when our episodes go up every single time. The Royals, like I said off the top, they took a 4-game sweep, a mop if you're a fan of Cespedes Family Barbecue, from the Chicago White Sox. Played really, really well today. Had to sweat out a couple of those games in the middle, but you gave up 4 runs in a 4-game set, which is a franchise record. They played incredibly well. They're playing really good baseball right now, and they're doing what good teams do, which is beating bad teams. We talked about how important this stretch was for the Royals, and that they needed to take advantage of this softer part of the schedule, and they've done everything that they possibly can. They've gone 15-2 in this stretch, dating back to the end of that Tiger series and the Rockies series right after. So they've taken care of business. Fewer Toot Blands, that is true, Nate. Still had a couple in there, but it's going to happen. And I've just kind of baked in that it's going to happen from time to time. As long as it's a Toot Bland of aggression, I'm not as concerned about it. If it's a Toot Bland of stupidity, as in the name Toot Bland, which if you don't know, it stands for thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop. It's part of the baseball jargon that I sometimes will use and speak. Before we get into the 2 games that ended this series, this show, as always, brought to you by Emprise Bank. Remember, FDIC, our partners impossible here at Kansas City Sports Network and on this podcast, One Royal Way. We can't thank them enough for that support. I'm just going to go ahead and dip into a little bit of soft red wheat here early on. It has been a long day, a little heavier pour for me tonight, but I think it'll help get me going. So if you are watching this live, cheers. If you're watching this at 6 a.m, I recorded this the previous evening. All right, let's go ahead and get into it here, guys. So the Royals won on Wednesday night 2-1. This game dominated by the pitching staff. Michael Walker was fantastic. Got through 6, very efficient, 84 pitches in those. Got through 7 innings, but only on 6 whiffs. It was a lot of early contact, a lot of weak contact, only scattered 3 hits. He had, I think, 5 strikeouts in those 7 innings, but he continues to pitch really, really well. After a few rocky starts at the beginning of the year, he's really rounding into form and throwing really well. I know that he was on the wrong end of that game in Baltimore over the weekend, but in that game, he gets into the 7th, and he was awesome until he got into the 7th and it kind of unraveled. He worked around a couple, he had like maybe one sketchy situation in this game, but for the most part, he cruised through it. And I think it was the top of the order coming up, they went to Ursig, who it was probably his best outing of the year. In fact, the stuff was playing really well. And one thing that I love about Lucas Ursig is he's a 4-pitch reliever, 2 fastball, slider, change, but any one of those pitches can be an out pitch for him any given night. And he struck out the side. First time he's done that all year. Slider to the first guy, fastball up to the next guy, and then a change up away to the lefty. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but they couldn't touch him. No one squared him up. Every foul ball, it was like super, super late, hard to time up, and he had it rolling. Offensively, Bobby was the offense, a 2-run home run there in the middle innings, and that was your ball game pretty much. There wasn't anything else. It was in the fifth, and jumped on a sinker in from Jonathan Cannon, who I'll be honest, three of these four guys that pitched for the White Sox in this game, I was pretty damn impressed with. Shane Smith, Sean Burke, and then Cannon, I thought threw well despite only getting one strikeout, induced a lot of weak contact, heavy changeup usage, and sinkers in, keep guys off the barrel. They have some building blocks there, at least on the pitching staff, at least in the rotation. The bullpen, not awesome, but today they shut them down, and it was a game that the Royals actually had 10 hits. They were able to string some hits together, and they had some situations, but it was another one of those games where they didn't come through with runners on, and so you're kind of sitting in walking a tightrope against a bad baseball team. You go run 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position and 7 left on. It's a good thing you're playing the White Sox. You play the Red Sox this weekend and you do that, there's a good shot you're not going to win that game. So better to do it against that team than anybody else, because you can kind of get away with it. Carlos Estevez, it was a sketchy 9th inning. I've noticed, to this point with Carlos Estevez, he's either going to breeze through the 9th with no problem, or we're going to be sweating it out. And that was the case. First pitch fastball blazed into the gap by Miguel Vargas. Luis Robert comes up, duck hooks one down the line, and it's a 1-run game just like that. Now, to his credit, he buckled down, gets 2 strikeouts on a ground out, ends the game, with the tying run on third. And the reason why that run didn't score was big-time defense in the 9th inning. It is a complete the juxtaposition of the Royals offense late in that game versus the White Sox offense defense on Tuesday that completely collapsed and is the reason why they lost that game. Bobby Witt Jr. makes a diving play, flip to Massey, and you get one, and and I know you only get one out of that in a potential double play ball, but that double play ball, that doesn't happen. Most shortstops aren't getting to that ball, or if nothing else, they're keeping it in the infield, not able to get an out. And then you have bases loaded, 1 out. Instead, you get 2 outs. You get the second out there, and then it's just runners on the corners with 2 outs. Estevez gets out of it, and you win a game. Was not pretty. We've seen those types of games from this team that this is the way they're gonna have to grind out some of these wins, which is fine. I'm not ringing any alarm bells because they continue to win. Like the pitching, as I've talked about, and I've kind of hammered the point of, it increases your margin for error while your offense kind of figures some stuff out. And this was one of those nights. This was a night though where, oh no, that was the previous night. I apologize. I had a greater point about something, but it does not matter now. Some other offensive performances. Michael had 2 hits. Vinny had 2 hits. Okay, David, let's hit this. We'll talk about this before the break. So David Reed hops in the chat, and thank you for doing so. He's struggling to decide who's been a bigger pleasant surprise, Garcia or Bubic. I think it's Michael Garcia. It has to be. We knew that Chris Bubic had immense talent. Last year looked like he'd really unlocked something out, was in the bullpen. But it looked like, okay, he's found something with his fastball. The characteristics play really well. He's got this secondary breaking ball. He ditched the curveball, and now it's slider sweeper. He started featuring that last year. It's like, oh, there's something there. Like I even if he was, and Bubic has gone well beyond any expectation, and we'll talk about him here on the other side of the break here in a little while. But it has to be Michael Garcia. Michael Garcia last year was the worst qualified hitter in all of baseball when you look at weighted runs created plus. Now, there were some underlying things that made you believe there was more in the tank, but that's more of the discipline side than the batted ball stuff. There was not a lot of great batted ball. The average exit velocity wasn't awesome. Now, he squared the ball up consistently, but it wasn't consistent enough. Like when he made contact, it was squared up, but the contact was not consistent enough. That's the way I meant to phrase that. It's just a matter of kind of getting back to the basics. I think he got a little too big for his britches is the wrong way to put it. But like he had that power surge early, and he did some of that in winter ball in Venezuela that was like, okay, I think he was trying to be something he was not, which is a power hitter, 15, 20 homer guy at third base. Like trying to play up to the offensive profile of a third baseman. But instead, he's now a guy that I think he's probably 8 to 10 home runs. Maybe if he gets up to 12, that would be awesome. But he's got 4 already, so he's pacing for, 16th quarter pole? But I think he's probably going to be 10, 12 homers. But the offensive profile for him is real. Like this, we've gotten beyond this is a really good start for Michael Garcia. We have enough proof of concept that what he is doing is pretty sustainable. I don't think, going into Monday, or not Monday, my God, my days are all jacked up, guys. Wednesday night, he ended the day, he was hitting 323 with an 888 OPS. I do not think he is that guy. But I talked about it with Jason Anderson. I think he could be, if his numbers go down to like 275 and the OPS is around 760, 770, which I think is fairly realistic, much more realistic over a 550, 600 plate appearance sample. That's still a very high-end third baseman that you can pencil into your lineup next year with no problem. And coming into the year, that was not the case. We didn't know what Michael Garcia was going to be. Hey, Nick, can you pop up Nate's comment again? Thank you. I was in the middle of something. I didn't want to stop my brain. Nate said, Michael always seemed to flash it, but it had to be better than the numbers showed. Glad it's finally popping up. There is some of that. There was also a lot of ugly last year, even with the numbers. With the lineup constructed, his surge makes them exponentially better. Because I didn't factor him in coming into the year. It was India. It was basically the top 4. It was India, Bobby, Vinny, Salvi. And then figure out if you can get anybody 5 through 9 to come through. I thought it was going to be Massey, but he has not done anything for the most part this year. But Michael has taken that up. And as India starts to get going a little bit, his profile is pretty safe given the ability to walk and see pitches. But Michael Garcia went from, I don't know how often this guy's going to play and if they're just going to make him a utility guy to we can't keep him out of the lineup. So it's been a fascinating 180 to his career. I'm excited to see how he continues, but I think it's pretty obvious that what Michael is doing and how he has impacted this team, I mean, it's insane. I want to pull up his numbers really quick while over this stretch of this 17-game stretch that we've seen this team play really well in while I'm thinking about it. I apologize for audio listeners. On the video side, you guys know I do live lookups fairly often. I'll go here. I think it was it the 20th? I think was that day. So just in this stretch, from the last game of the Tigers series to now, Michael Garcia is slashing 397, 462, 603. That's a 202 weighted runs created plus, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 7 stolen bases in that stretch, and an equal strikeout to walk ratio at both 10.6%. I mean, he's been unbelievable. It's a 66 plate appearance sample. Like it's not crazy, but it's damn impressive what this guy has continued to do and how he has continued to progress. Can't say enough good things about him, and I'm sure that I'm going to talk about him here whenever we're on the other side of this break. Nick, are we good to hit it now? Oh, I'm getting a hang on. If you have any questions in the chat while we got a second here, please drop them in here. I've run out of stuff to talk about with this particular game, or if there is anything from the game on Wednesday, any observations you guys had, we can go ahead and hit those really quick. If you do have any, I appreciate everybody hanging in here. Actually, I got to go ahead. We are going to hit this kind of longer 2-minute break for, think of it as a normal commercial break if you're watching this as a TV show. And then we'll talk about the offensive onslaught that happened on Thursday right after this.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story. Like Bryan Group, They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brian Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's playoff time, and if you're still just watching games, then you're missing out. With Pick 6 from DraftKings, you can turn your hoops knowledge into real cash. Just make your picks, track your score, and if you hit all 6, you're looking at bigger payouts than Prize Picks flex plays. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25 times your cash. And if you beat your competitor, you could be looking at a 500 times bag in your pocket. And right now, new customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Thank you, Tucker, for that wonderful ad. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already. And thank you for the support this season. This has been a lot of fun. Obviously, the way the Royals have played has made my job a hell of a lot easier. Today was a pretty fun game as well. The Royals win 10-0. They broke it open. It was pretty close early, but never in doubt as the game went on. They put up crooked numbers in the 5th, 6th, and a 4-run spot in the 8th to break it open. 17 hits on the game. But, I mean, we have to start with Kris Bubic, right? Another unbelievable start from him in this game. He goes 7 innings, shutout, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. It scattered 6 hits, but he really only had 1 inning where there was some danger, and in that inning he gets a ground ball double play, 1-6-3, ends the inning, and they get out of it. It was 1-4-3. My apologies, because Massey made the throw to Vinny. The called strike whip percentage was 33%, so I mean a third of his pitches he's getting one of those too, which is a great outcome. 16 whiffs in this game. I mean, through 2 innings he had more whiffs than Michael Wacha did all of the previous game. And this is going to sound mean. It is not intended to be so. It is insanely impressive how Kris Bubic can throw 91 by guys. Like, make guys swing and miss at 91. That shows you that it's not just velocity that matters. It's the characteristic of the fastball that matters. From his release height, I think it's a 5'6" release height. It's kind of funky, low 3/4. He gets 17, 18 inches of induced vertical break, which is that carry that you see where it either looks like the fastball is just straight or it has that ride up in the zone. It's not actually rising, but it's just got, it's pushing up against gravity more because of the spin. And when you're able to do that at that at that lower velocity, it's incredibly impressive. But the ability to command his secondaries, the sweeper was great for him today. A heavy fastball changeup game, had guys off balance. He had dudes in the rocking chair pretty much all game long, and kept the Royals in it as the offense kind of got it figured out. Davis Martin, had the Royals in a couple of spots, but he ends up with 4 earnings. Salvi tagged him early in this game with a double and a single. That's how the Royals got their first 2 runs. And then the floodgates just opened. And India has 2 hits. Bobby has 4 with 2 doubles. including one that was a hustle double. It was a routine single for mere mortals, and Bobby just busts it out of the box. I mean, it's hit to Luis Robert, who kind of hot dogged it a little bit. We've seen him do that in the past, and Bobby turned into a double with no problem. Vinny gets another 2 hits, and he's heating up. Since the calendar turned to May, he's got 5 multi-hit games. He's starting to get going a little bit, and I'll get his numbers in that stretch too. And understand I'm playing in small samples here, but the start to the season was so poor, like you don't have a lot to go off of. But since May 1st, I'll start it there. And that's, it's 8 games, right? Because they played every day. He's slashing since the calendar turned to May, 333, 355, 600 slug, 166 weighted runs created plus, and the ISO 267. So he's getting into some power. Of his 10 hits, 4 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 2 homers. He's not walking a lot, but the quality of contact is getting a lot better. So it seems like he's starting to get going, and we see what this offense looks like when he has it rolling a little bit. Michael had 2 hits. He had a big triple late in this game, or like middle of the game or so, to what inning was that? Shoot. It was the 5th inning. He triples, hits the ball over Luis Robert's head. I say Robert and Robert. I think it's Luis Robert. I've always said Robert. I don't know why. Anyways, hits it over Robert's head. I mean, it would have been a home run in 19 Parks. It was a 412-foot line out to the wall. Bobby scored there, and the floodgates open from there. India doubles, and then Bobby doubled, and then in the 8th, India gets a little sawed-off single. Bobby doubled again. Vinny singled. Salvi sack fly, and things just got going from there. I mean, Drew Waters had 2 hits. Freddie got a hit. Everyone got in on the hits except for Hunter Renfroe, unfortunately, and that was a tough one today for him, man. He didn't look comfy at all. A really ugly strikeout, but I don't want to spend too much time on that when the team has been playing so well. There's no reason to dive down that hole. We all know at this point, right? And there really wasn't much to say about the bullpen outside of it. Bubich pitched so well, and by the time that Chris Stratton came in the game, it was 6-0. And hey, Chris Stratton goes in and gets 2 punchies. Cruz gets one to end the game, continued his scoreless streak that dates back to like early 2023 from when he had a little bit of big league time. But, I mean, obviously this is a fantastic homestand for this team. They needed it badly, and they took advantage of finally playing the White Sox. A lot of what they did early in last season and why it took a lot of people time to buy in was they played like 7 games against the White Sox in April, and they went 6-1 or 7-0, but they had that tough stretch, and then they come out of it, and then you played the White Sox at the end of this, and so it felt like a nice like ease into this Red Sox series that is going to be tough. I know that they are kind of scuffling right now. There's some turmoil with like Rafael Devers, and that's a whole situation that you got to wonder about clubhouse vibes if you're one of those people. But this is going to be a tough 3-game series, especially you're getting one of their best pitchers. I'll go through the probables here. Excuse me. I keep kicking the wrong thing. So Lorenzen's going on Friday. Hunter Dobbins, who's a name that I am admittedly not familiar with. I feel like I've got my finger on the pulse of most big league teams, but this guy is a 25-year-old rookie. This is going to be his 4th start in the big leagues, a 3.78 ERA and 13 strikeouts to 4 walks so far. So a super limited sample. The FIP is a little bit higher, but not crazy. It's 4.17. We'll see. Let me get his Baseball Savant page up here so we can kind of get a little look at this. I apologize for the thing. He's their number 14 prospect, by the way. Gets a lot of chase. Doesn't give up a lot of barrels. He throws 4-seamer, averaging around 95. Slider, split, sweep, curve. So he's going to move the ball around a little bit. But no like secondary fastball. So a lot of breaking stuff. He's very reliant on the 4-seamer. It's got pretty good characteristics. He spins at about 2,400 RPM. Let me see if I can get an IVB on this. About 16, 17 inches of induced vertical break. So it's a fairly good fastball. So we'll see if they're able to get on it. And this is a guy that, again, making his 4th start. This is a guy that you need to take advantage of. Because Saturday, guys, if you are going to go to a game this weekend, or if you have nothing going on this weekend, get out to Kauffman Stadium on Saturday night. Deal Fest inbound at Kauffman Stadium. Cole Reagans versus Garrett Crochet. Not a lot of runs are going to be scored in this game. So if you do, like our friends at DraftKings, bet the under. This is not gambling advice, but Cole Reagans, Garrett Crochet, not going to be a lot of runs scored in that one. But I'm excited to see Crochet in person. This is going to be a game where Vinny hits seventh, as they've done against tough lefties in the past, and he's found a way to, do pretty well in that instance. So, well, we'll see how that goes. And then Sunday is going to be Seth Lugo versus Lucas Giolito. Giolito working his way back from Tommy John, and then he had a little hamstring thing at the beginning of spring. But a guy that a couple of years ago was really good is trying to revitalize his career a little bit. I feel like the Royals are going to be able to take 2 or 3 here. I think Reagans is going to pitch well, but Crochet is so tough. He has been really good to start this year. Let me get those numbers pulled up for him. Giolito only has 1 start. I think he went 6 innings, gave up 3. I think that's it. Yeah, 2.02 ERA for Crochet coming into this game. He's got 56 strikeouts, but 20 walks in 8 innings. So, or not 8 innings, 8 outings, 49 innings. So he's a little susceptible to the walks early in the season. As long as Cole's able to stay away from him, I know he's going to get the strikeouts. It's going to be a tough. That game is going to be tough. But with Lugo on the mound, the way he's throwing, with the way that Lorenzen, if he's able to bounce back from the tough outing that he had on Sunday in Baltimore, you feel like they can go out and win 2 or 3 and end this stretch, and then they head back on the road. But this is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for what this stretch is going to be. Toast game, and there's a bunch of guys that you could go with for this. I did not have one coming in. I usually have one in mind. I did not have one in mind because they played so well lately, and it's been kind of spread out among a bunch of guys. But I'm going to go with Chris Bubich, dominant today. Really was never in any doubt. I'll throw Michael Wacha in there. So I'll give it to the 2 pitching performances over the last couple of days. A lot to like from what we've seen. It feels like and it's why you feel so confident, even when the offense isn't playing that well, that this team is going to find a way to win some of these games because the floor that this pitching staff provides you is so high, and it gives you so much room for error that you feel like they're going to be able to figure it out. And as long as they get, 3 runs, they're going to have a chance to win the game. And if they're able to do that against the Red Sox, they're going to win probably 2 of those games. We'll see what happens. I appreciate everybody that was hanging out tonight. Appreciate those that left comments in the YouTube chat, help drive the conversation. I'd like to continue to do that. So if you are an audio listener only, I appreciate that. But if you have any interest in hanging out on the YouTube side, please do come over, subscribe, and be a part of the conversation, be a part of the community that follows this team so closely. And I will talk to you guys on Sunday night, 8:30 Central. We'll recap this Red Sox series and preview what is coming up for the Royals. I have been so out of the loop and so jacked up lately that I don't even know who the heck they're playing after the Red Sox. I've been taking it 1 series at a time, just like this team. They head to Houston next week, before coming back against Cardinals. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys on Sunday night after this fun Red Sox series. Hope everyone has a great, safe, fun weekend, and we'll talk soon. Take care, guys.